Christmas Carol, a story written by the English writer Charles Dickens. It was published for the first time on December 19, 1843. A Christmas Carol is a novella with a strong moral message. Dickens wrote it to spread the message of love, hope, generosity, and compassion. He wants people to be aware of the difficulties the less fortunate of us have to deal with on a daily basis. He uses the traditional Christmas message of generosity and kindness to draw attention to the plight of the poor and helpless. A Christmas Carol has a simple, straightforward message of kindness to which anyone can relate. It is a timeless tale which underlines humankind's best attributes and encompasses the popular perception about Christmas as a celebration of hope and generosity. Chapter 1. On the day of Marley's funeral, Scrooge looked very happy because he knew he made some money. Marley and Scrooge are business partners, and Marley was Scrooge's only friend. Even though Marley was dead, his name was still on the office door of their company. Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people call him Scrooge, and sometimes people call him Marley. He'd respond to both anyways. It was all the same to him. He was a cold, mean man. He had red eyes, a blue nose, and thin white lips. Nobody asked him how he was doing. Everyone avoided him. Even dogs ran away from him. But he didn't care since that's exactly what he wanted. One Christmas Eve, Scrooge was sitting in his office. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was gloomy. The weather was frigid and there was a lot of fog. It came into the office through the windows and door. Bob Cratchit, Scrooge's clerk, was copying letters in the dark. He had a rather small fire in his room, which was smaller than Scrooge's. "A Merry Christmas, Uncle!" Scrooge's nephew greeted him as he came in. His name is Fred. He looked warm. His face was red and his eyes were bright. "Bah! Humbug!" Scrooge replied. "Christmas a humbug, Uncle!" he cried, surprised. "You don't mean that, I'm sure." "Yes, I do," said Scrooge. "Merry Christmas!" "Why are you merry? You're a poor man, aren't you?" "Well, why are you so unhappy? You're rich," replied Fred. "Bah! Humbug!" Scrooge replied in an irritated manner. "Don't be angry, Uncle," said Fred. "Why not? There are too many fools in this world. You say Merry Christmas when you're a year older and poorer. That's stupid! Uncle, please! Nephew! You have your own Christmas and I have mine. Leave me alone." "But Christmas is a good time," said the nephew. "It's the only time in the year when people open their hearts and help each other. They become kind and generous. I like Christmas and I say God bless it." The clerk agreed and clapped his hands happily, saying, "Yes, that's right." "Another word from you and you lose your job," Scrooge said to him. "Don't be angry, Uncle. Come and eat with us tomorrow," said his nephew. "No! Go away. I'm busy." "But why won't you come?" "Why did you get married?" Scrooge asked. "Because I fell in love." "Because you fell in love? Bah! That's more stupid than a Merry Christmas. Good afternoon." "But why won't you ever come to see me, Uncle?" "Good afternoon." "Can't we be friends?" "Good afternoon." "Well, I'm really sorry about this, but I wish you a Merry Christmas with all my heart, Uncle." "Good afternoon," said Scrooge. "And a Happy New Year." "Good afternoon," said Scrooge. So his nephew went to the door and opened it. But before he left, he said, "Merry Christmas," to the clerk, who answered with a warm "Happy Christmas." "Are you stupid too?" Scrooge said. At that moment, 2 fat gentlemen came in. "Excuse me, is this Scrooge and Marley's? May I ask if you are Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?" "Mr. Marley is dead. He died on Christmas Eve 7 years ago." "At this festive time of the year, Mr. Scrooge, we ask people to give some money to help the poor, as there are thousands of people with nothing to eat at Christmas," the man replied, taking a pen from his pocket. "Aren't there any presents?" asked Scrooge. "Yes, Lots of them. And what about the workhouses? Aren't there still lots of them? Unfortunately, yes. Good. I'm happy to hear it. We don't think the people in the workhouses or prisons are happy about it, as they don't have much to eat or drink, and they're always cold. How much can you give us, sir? Nothing, Scrooge replied. Leave me alone. I don't celebrate Christmas, and I don't give money to lazy people. I help to pay for the workhouses and prisons. That's enough. But many people can't go there, and they'll die in this cold weather. Well, there are too many people in the world already, and that's a good thing. Good afternoon, gentlemen. So the two men went out, and Scrooge continued his work. It became colder, foggier, and darker. When a boy came to sing a Christmas carol outside Scrooge's door, he immediately stood up and shouted fearlessly, "Go away!" The boy was frightened and ran away very quickly. Finally, it was time to close the office and go home. Scrooge and his clerk were ready to go. "You want all day tomorrow, don't you?" "If it's all right, sir, yes." "It's not all right," Scrooge answered. "I must pay you for a day's holiday." "It's only once a year, sir." "Bah! Every December 25th you get money for nothing." "Well, arrive here extra early on the 26th. Do you hear me?" "Yes, sir," said the clerk, and when he left his office, he ran and danced all the way home because it was Christmas Eve.